Oaf shuffles ahead, still dripping from the spring, dagger at his side. His bare feet slap against the damp stone as he waddles toward a side passage branching off the chamber. Steam clings to the air behind you, but ahead the smell changes. Acrid, sour, and foul. The tunnel narrows before opening again. The moment you step closer, the reek hits full force. Rot and waste. Thick enough it makes your stomach turn. The walls here are lined with long wooden benches, each set with evenly spaced holes, emptying into a dark trench that runs the length of the chamber. At the center, a trough of murky water lies stagnant, its surface broken only by bubbles that pop with a sickly plop. See? Big important room. Every goblin used this place.
Is this the goddamn bathroom, Oaf?
Yes, all goblins come here. Very important, sirs. Every day, many times.
What in the hell? I've fought ogres, bandits, even worse, and still this may be the foulest chamber I've ever set foot in.
Come on, guys. Oaf said it was important, and he wasn't lying. Every goblin in this place definitely visits here, often. We could ambush them in the crapper if we wanted.
Or we could move on like sensible folk. The last thing I want to do is spend any more time here than absolutely necessary.
Agreed. This isn't the place for us to linger. If it connects further into the outpost, we should press on before someone does come through to relieve themselves.
The stench of the latrine chamber lingers as Oaf scampers ahead, dagger clinking against his belt. He stops at the far end of the room where there is a door, then turns to you with a conspiratorial grin. Heroes careful here. Yes, Oaf never go in there, but Oaf peeked. Many, many beds. Goblins sleep there, sometimes lots, sometimes few. Oaf not know how many now.
A barracks, then. Makes sense. If we charge through, we could be waking half a warband.
Or catch them all snoring. Easy pickings.
Either way, I don't see any other way for us to go, so it looks like we're stuck going in there. I'll crack the door open to have a look, Ben.
You all fall quiet at the door, the stink of the latrine still clinging to your nostrils. The bunks inside creak with slow, even breathing. One goblin snores so loud it rattles the straw. Nobody moves.
Can I see how many there are?
Give me a perception check.
That's a 21 total.
It's dark inside the barracks, but with your sharp eyes, Barbin, you catch the shapes clearly enough. 5 goblins in total, sprawled across rough cots. 2 are dead asleep, mouths open as they snore. Another has an arm draped over his face, shifting a little but still out. The last 2 toss faintly in their sleep, but their hands are loose, no weapons near at hand.
All right, I see 5 goblins in there sleeping. We rushing on in to surprise them? I think that's a pretty good idea.
I say we charge in together. With Oaf by our side, we can't lose.
Fine by me. I've been itching to kick some more goblin ass.
All right, Ben, I'm pushing open the door all the way, running in and casting 2 eldritch blasts at the closest goblin. That's a 17 and a nat 20 to hit. A total of 35 damage from both hits.
You barrel through the door and the room snaps awake. You thrust your hand out, 2 crackling bolts of eldritch energy leap from your fingertips. The first slams into the nearest goblin, ripping a smoking line across his chest. Before he can even gasp, the second bolt connects with bone-shuddering force. He attempts to get up, reaching towards his weapon nearby, and then collapses backwards off the cot, a smoking trail coming off him. 4 goblins remain. None of them were ready for you, so you all get the jump. This is your surprise round. Roll for initiative.
I got a nat 20 minus 1.
I got a 19 as well.
I only got a 5.
And I only got a 4.
I got an 11.
All right, Gundar, you're up first. Oaf will be going after you, Jorkus. He got an 8.
I'm casting Spirit Guardians, Ben. These goblins will feel Moradin's fire before they even get their boots on. I slam the head of my hammer against the stone, the crack echoing like a forge strike in the deep. Heat wells up in my chest, and I mutter a prayer, low, steady, like steel meeting flame. Around me, 3 elder dwarves of blazing fire spark into being. Stout, armored, their faces stern as the stone of the mountains. Each hefts a blazing warhammer, and they march alongside me, leaving trails of flame in their wake. I step forward, closing the gap on the nearest goblin before they swing at him. That's 14 radiant damage, halved on a DC 16 wisdom save.
As you advance, the Guardians surge with you. The spectral dwarves immediately lash out at the first Psy-Brawler. He tries to sit up, eyes glowing faintly with psionic energy, but doesn't stand a chance against the onslaught. One hammer slams across his chest, another smashes into his side. He takes 14 damage, but he's still alive, badly scorched and smoking, scrambling upright with a desperate gasp. Anything else for you?
Nah, I'll pass to Sildar.
Okay, I'm going to cast Bless on Donnie, Jorkus, and myself. I'm also going to move into the center of the room to keep them from getting to our back line. That's all from me.
Without waiting, Sildar strides into the heart of the barracks, blade angled low and ready. Sildar's voice cuts through the chaos, sharp and commanding rather than reverent. He slashes his blade through the air, black wisps of energy trailing from the steel like smoke. The magic flares outward in jagged sparks, settling into Donnie, Jorkus, and himself. The weight on your shoulders lifts slightly, your grip tightens on your weapons. Not divine grace, but sheer force of will bent into magic. You're up, Jorkus, and don't forget you guys have advantage on attacks for this first round.
Since I have advantage, I'm going to cast a wild bolt at the goblin near the door. That's a 22 to hit him, and a total of 18 lightning damage. I also passed my wild magic check.
Jorkus stands firm in the back of your group, staff raised. His voice cracks with energy as he lets loose, and the staff's stained glass flares with a jagged burst of lightning. The bolt sears through the stale air of the barracks, the ozone snap making the straw cot smolder as it arcs toward its mark. The goblin by the door jerks violently as the lightning slams into him, his chest convulsing in a sharp spasm. He slams back against the bunk, teeth bared in a snarl, smoking but still upright.
I'm going to stay back here. Go get him, Oaf.
Oaf scrambles up the nearest barrel, slipping once before planting himself triumphantly on top. He throws one hand out dramatically, the other clutching his crooked dagger like it's a royal scepter. The air around him hums faintly as he scrunches up his face in furious concentration. A nearby heap of filthy goblin laundry, damp rags, socks, and God knows what else, suddenly stirs, lifting shakily into the air. With a wild shriek, Oaf flings the entire mess across the room at one of the psionic goblins. The soggy clothes smack weakly against the goblin's chest and flop to the floor in a pitiful heap. It doesn't actually do any damage, but the goblin is really pissed off now. Kneel before me.
That's it? That's the big attack? I thought he was going to melt the guy's brain or something.
Well, I guess he hit him at least. But, yeah.
Did you see that? He didn't even touch the rags. He just thought it. That's incredible. You're a real wizard now, Oaf.
Oaf, still standing proud on his barrel, spreads his arms dramatically, chest puffing out. Yes, Oaf strong wizard. Oaf is the master of magic. Okay, Donnie, you're up.
I'm barely able to reach the goblin near the door, so I'm going to run to him and take 2 attacks. That's a 24 and a 27 to hit, total of 26 slashing damage.
Your boots slam across the stone as you close the distance. The goblin's still half asleep and scrambling to bring his scimitar up. You don't give him the chance. Your first strike carves clean across his chest, sending him sprawling back against the cot. Before he can even let out a cry, you attack again, stabbing him cleanly and pinning him to the straw mattress. The cot splinters under the force, the bed frame groaning as blood seeps into the straw. The goblin's eyes go glassy, his grip loosens, and his weapon slips from his fingers with a dull clatter. He's gone before he even realizes what hit him.
Now that's how it's done, boys. That's all for me.
You attacked earlier Barbin to start the surprise round, so your attack is used already. You can move, though, if you want.
I think I'll stay where I am for now.
All right, next up is the goblin by Gundar. Just to double-check the ruling, Gundar, does Spirit Guardian say when the goblin enters the area?
Yeah, it says when the creature enters or starts its turn there.
Okay, so technically the damage it took on your turn, it actually takes now. No need to re-roll the damage. We'll just add it on now instead of earlier.
All right, no worries.
The psionic goblin scrambles upright, eyes flashing with psionic light as it lashes out at you. 2 fists swing toward you, one aimed for your jaw, the other for your gut, but both blows skid uselessly against your shield and armor. Threatened, the goblin's eyes flare brighter, a shimmering wave of force rippling out from its hunched frame. Gundar, you feel the air thicken around you, like invisible hands gripping your armor. Make a strength save for me.
Crap, natural 2.
Before you can brace, the shove slams into you with crushing weight. Your boots skid across the stone, your shield jerks wide, and with a heavy crash, you take 4 psychic damage as you're thrown flat onto your back. The goblin now takes the opportunity to freely run away from you as he calls out for help towards the door.
Damn it. I succeeded on my concentration at least.
You're flat on your ass right now, Gundar, but it's your turn. What are you doing?
I drag myself back up, armor scraping as I plant my boots firm again. I raise my hammer high, slamming it into the stone again, and a deep, hollow clang rolls out, not of steel on stone, but of a funeral bell echoing through the mountains. As I shout, "Your time's up, Goblin. Hear the toll." That's max damage on my toll, the dead cantrip. He needs to make a DC 16 wisdom save, or take 12 necrotic damage.
As the sound reverberates through the barracks, The spectral toll slams into his skull like a mountain collapsing. His glow flickers, sputters, and then his body convulses violently. His knees buckle under the unseen weight of the toll, and he collapses to the stone, the psionic shimmer around him guttering out entirely. Anything else for you, Gundar?
Well, I've only got half my movement, since I had to stand back up. I'll move closer to Sildar to help out and pass.
I'll use my bonus action to light up my sunblade and then swing at the goblin twice. That's a 12 and a 26 to hit, and 10 radiant damage.
Your sunblade hums to life, the golden radiance cutting through the smoky gloom of the barracks. The light splashes across the cots and the stone walls, sharp and blinding in contrast to the psionic glow of the last goblin. You step forward, blade swinging low in your first strike, but the goblin, its body twitching with psionic sparks, manages to jerk back just far enough that your blade carves sparks from the cot frame instead of flesh. Your second swing, however, is merciless. The radiant edge arcs clean across the goblin's torso, the light burning into him like molten steel. His scream is strangled, choked out as the light sears him. The goblin staggers back, clutching his chest where the radiant burn scorches deep. He's still standing, however. Next, we have this psionic goblin and the normal one. Realizing just how outmatched they are, they both exchange a quick, panicked look before bolting. Both of them move in a blur, kicking off their beds as they all run to the side door past you, Donnie. The stone door slams open, banging hard against the wall before closing again, and the pair disappear into the next corridor. Their frantic footsteps pound away into the outpost, echoing off the stone until the sound begins to fade.
Well, shit. We're about to have a ton of goblins swarming this room, probably. Do we just hold our position?
If they bring back reinforcements, it could get quite hairy in here. It might work in our favor, though, if we let them funnel towards us.
We'd be making their job easy if we chased after them.
Or we stop acting like cowards and finish this. Let them run. I'll carve down every bastard they bring back if I have to. Better to take the fight to them before they regroup.
Yeah. I think Donnie's right. We should chase them. Right, Oaf?
Yes, we chase, heroes smash the evil goblins. No hiding, no waiting.
Are you too sure about this? We have no clue what's past those doors, but I highly doubt they'll just be running away without warning all the other goblins in this place.
We didn't travel all this way to chicken out at the first hurdle. Let's do this shit, guys. Let me, Sildar, and Gundar run in first while you two still have your spells up. Any goblins come close, we'll rip them up. Jorkas, Barbin, and Oaf, do your thing in the back to help us all out.
Oaf squeals and pounds his chest in a little war dance. Oaf will help the heroes. Oaf is king of the cave, not chicken of cave.
I agree with Oaf. We will fight gloriously in battle.
Fuck it. Donnie, lead the way. You two coming with?
You have a wild way of convincing people, Donnie, but I suppose it's hard to turn down a fight, seeing how rousing your speech was for Oaf and Jorkas.
True that. But nonetheless, I see your point, lads. We're with you, Donnie. Let's do this.
That's what the hell I'm talking about. I'm going through the stone door, Ben.
You shove the stone door and step into the next chamber. You follow the short walkway before you turn to your left. The glow from the carved lava runs across the room in an uncanny blue, painting everyone in pallid light. 3 long rectangular stone tables run down the room's center with benches on either side. Several goblins sit with bowls of gritty white porridge, hunched over and shoveling it in like nothing's happening at all. On the right, a small window looks into the kitchen. 2 more goblins are moving and working inside, knives and pots clattering. The whole chamber feels built to handle a crowd. Benches, tables, and wide clear floor space. At the far end of the room, one of the goblins from the bunks is on his knees, shaking and pointing back the way you came. He's being held by another goblin as he is on his knees, shaking and pointing at you and blubbering. They're here, they're here. Some of the goblins noticed your group approaching already, but others were caught off guard as they've been eating. However, at this point, they're all aware of your presence now. They all scramble to grab weapons at their side, weapons lining the walls, and some of them begin to glow with a familiar green energy. I'll need you all to roll for initiative.
All right, boys, remember, stick to our plan and we'll be fine. I got an 18.
That's a 4 for me.
7 for me.
I got a 15.
And a 17 for me.
All right, guys, I've got the initiative order ready. Let's run through it so you know when you're acting. Remember, some of the goblins are caught off guard at first since they've been eating, and the other goblins that ran off just now got their attention. We'll have Donnie, 3 of the brawlers up front, Oaf, Gundar, and Sildar starting. Then there will be 4 more brawlers in the back, which are surprised, and 2 groups of regular goblins that are surprised. After them is Barbin, the 2 commanders near you guys, Jorkas, and the last group of goblins. The ones in the kitchen are just staying out of it. Donnie, you're up first. You've got a full mess hall of goblins glaring at you, weapons half drawn, and some of them already glowing with that psionic energy. How do you want to start us off?
I'm popping my first fighting spirit, Ben. We need a solid start in this fight. I'm gonna take 2 attacks against the nearest brawler with advantage. That's what I like to see, a nat 20 on the first hit for a total of 23 slashing. Then a 23 to hit for 10 more.
Damn, Donnie. Nice.
Good shit, man.
Your blade carves through the din of the mess hall like thunder, Donnie. The first swing, fueled by fighting spirit, bites clean across the Psy-Brawler's chest. The psionic glow in his eyes flares desperately, but your momentum is too much. With a crack of bone and a spray of blue-lit blood, he slams back against the stone table, food and bowls scattering everywhere. Before he can even slump down, your second strike follows through. The edge digs deep, cleaving through rib and lung, and the goblin collapses, body half hanging over the bench, the psionic light sputtering out of his gaze. That's one down right away. Anything else for you?
I'll jump on top of the table to get in range of the other one, and I'll pass.
Donnie, you plant a boot on the edge of the bench and kick yourself up onto the stone table. Plates and bowls clatter as you land, looming above the chaos, blade dripping with the blue-lit gore of the first Psy-Brawler. Next up, we have the other 2 goblin brawlers that weren't surprised. The one that ran away from the bunks earlier runs to you, Donnie, preparing to fight alongside the goblin at the bench you were staring down. I'll need you to make 2 strength saves.
That's a 19 and tainted 20. No weak-ass goblin tries to fuck with me.
The air around you ripples, Donnie, as you feel the force of the goblins attempting to knock you off the table. You're able to withstand it, though, keeping your position as they both go in with 2 attacks. Okay, each of the goblins lands 1 hit, and you take a total of 10 bludgeoning damage and 6 psychic damage. Both goblins hit you hard. One fist cracks against your ribs, the other slams into your temple, and you feel that ugly psychic pulse shudder through your skull. Your boots scrape the stone table, but you plant your stance firm, refusing to give them the satisfaction of knocking you down. Next up, we have Oaf. He is still concentrating on telekinesis, so he is going to attempt to restrain one of the commanders near your party. The commander gets a natural 3, so she definitely fails. Oaf squints so hard his whole face scrunches like a raisin, both little fists trembling as he points toward one of the commanders. The Psionic commander stiffens mid-step, a bowl of porridge slipping from her hand as an invisible weight slams into her body. Her limbs jerk awkwardly, like a puppet caught in tangled strings. The commander snarls, straining against the unseen grip, but for now she's caught, restrained in Oaf's telekinetic grasp.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Wow, well done, Oaf. Not what I was expecting.
Yes, Oaf strong. Oaf can help the heroes. You're up, Gundar. Then you, Sildar.
Well, since I still have my Spirit Guardians active, I'm going to throw a guiding bolt at the brawler that's behind Donnie as I run to help him out. If I'm still concentrating on it, they'll take damage when their turn starts. That's a tainted 20 to hit and 16 radiant damage.
You sprint toward the fray, Gundar, boots pounding against the stone floor, as Donnie holds the line atop the mess table. Raising your free hand, you mutter a prayer to Moradin, channeling the forge's light into your palm. With a crack of radiant energy, you hurl the bolt across the chamber. It streaks through the blue-lit steam and slams into the Psy-Brawler behind Donnie. The blast explodes against his chest, and the goblin stumbles, smoke curling off the wound, his eyes flaring wild as he struggles to stay upright.
Nice. I'll stay here next to Donnie and pass.
I think this is a good time for me to use my dreadful aspect channel divinity. I'll stride into the center of the room, eyes sweeping across the rabble of goblins. I raise my sunblade high, its golden fire coiling with black flame, and slam the tip into the stone floor. My voice booms out, not a prayer, not mercy, but a promise of dread. Every goblin within 30 feet of me needs to make a DC 15 wisdom save or be frightened of me.
All right, Sildar. One of the brawlers near Donnie becomes frightened, along with 2 at the back table. The goblin commander that isn't restrained also becomes frightened. And finally, the 3 goblins at the bottom right table become frightened. Your blade slams into the stone, and the chamber shakes with the unnatural fusion of radiant fire and black flame. The light licks across the walls, but instead of warmth, it carries the icy grip of dread. Goblins at the tables flinch back, bowls clattering from their hands as your booming voice fills the mess hall.
That's all for me, Ben.
Okay, next would be some of the goblin brawlers and regular goblins, but they're surprised for this first round. Since they also aren't moving on this first round, none of them will be able to try to save on their frightened condition either. That leaves us with your turn, Barbin, and then the commanders.
I've been waiting for a good time to use this. I step forward, talisman hot against my chest, and raise a hand over the goblins in the back left of the room. The whispers come rushing in, jagged, hungry, and relentless. And with a sharp snap of my fingers, the void tears open above their tables as I cast Hunger of Hadar. The mess hall erupts in chaos as a sphere of writhing black tentacles and starless dark slams into existence, swallowing the back left corner whole. Goblins shriek as their torches and psionic glow vanish, snuffed out by an unnatural cold. Within the sphere, muffled screams and wet tearing sounds echo as something unseen brushes against them from beyond.
Whoa, nice job, Barbin.
I didn't know you knew stuff like that. Holy crap!
Amidst the astonishment from your allies and the screams of your enemies, a voice cuts through it all, clearer than anything you've ever heard.
About time you stop holding back, Barbin. Listen to their screams.
The words coil through your mind differently than before, not teasing or mocking, but almost approving. As quick as it comes, though, the voice vanishes, and the reality of your situation returns. The piercing wails of goblins, and the insatiable hunger within the void you summoned. Make a wisdom save for me, please.
What the hell is going on with you?
That's a 7 total.
Your hands tremble as the sphere of writhing void continues to churn in the back of the hall. The shrieks and wet sounds inside are horrific, and though you know you caused it, the truth of what's happening within is beyond you. You find yourself instinctually taking steps back, nearly stumbling as your back finds the cold stone wall. You press into it, trying to ground yourself against something solid, away from the writhing shadow you've conjured.
Wait, what? Does Barbin have PTSD or something?
You okay, buddy?
I'll need the damage for your spell as well, Barbin, and anything else you'd like to do.
Movement speed is halved in there, and they'll take 9 cold damage when they start their turn in the area. Nothing else for my turn, though. I'll stand against the wall, not responding to anyone as my vision tunnels towards the void.
Next are the commanders. The first one is going to try to break free from Oaf's telekinesis, but fails again. The other one is going to have to use her action to dash out of the area of your spell. Emerging on the left side of the room, tentacles biting at its heels, and a freezing aura surrounding it.
Okay, it has to make a DC 16 dex save or take 8 acid damage.
It'll have disadvantage since it is restrained, and that's a tainted 20 and a 9, so that's 8 more damage. You're up, Jorkus.
Oh man, Barbin's magic is so cool. Check this out, guys. This one's for you, Oaf. Barbin! I'm catching 11 goblins in the explosion, Ben, and that's a DC 14 dex save for all of them. 32 damage if they fail, and 16 if they pass.
Yeah, this is going to be a bloodbath. These are normal goblins, so they're going to die even if they pass the check. Only the brawler can live, but he also fails, so he dies too. The instant Jorkus finishes his chant, the mess hall erupts. A bead of orange flame arcs past Oaf's head and streaks across the room. It lands square in the cluster of goblins shoving away from their benches and detonates. The blast swallows the right half of the hall, fire rolling across tables, bowls, and stone alike. The shrieks of goblins are cut short as they're incinerated where they sit. Charred weapons clatter from twitching hands. Half-melted porridge bowls blast across the chamber like shrapnel. The lone goblin brawler caught in the fireball staggers, skin cracked and smoking, before collapsing into ash alongside the rest. Every single regular goblin in that radius is reduced to smoldering husks. The entire right side of the mess hall is nothing but fire, blackened stone, and corpses. When the smoke clears, the only movement is the slow drip of molten porridge sliding off the stone tables.
What do you think of that, Oaf?
Whoa! So good at magic, sir! Amazing, sir!
Well done, Jorkus. Great job.
Jorkus, check on Barbin for us since we're up close fighting. Something's up.
Yeah, sure thing. Did you see that, Barbin? Pretty good, huh?
Just back up. Please, Jorkus. I'm sorry.
Huh? What's wrong, buddy?
I won't respond for the moment, Ben.
Barbin mutters under his breath, more to himself than to you, Jorkus. His voice cracks, low and ragged. The screams, it's still screaming. His fingers curl tight into his talisman as if grounding himself. For a moment, he looks ready to bolt, like he'd claw his way right back through the stone door if he could. But then he forces a swallow, jaw tightening.
I'll stand next to him, Ben. I'm not sure what's happening. By the way, I passed my wild magic.
All right, thanks. You're up, Donnie. Top of the round.
All right, I'm going to attack the goblin that Gundar hit with Guiding Bolt. That's a 19 to hit and 10 slashing damage.
He's still standing, barely.
Okay, I'll hit him again. Straight roll. That's a 25 to hit for 10 more damage.
Your blade lashes out across the mess table. Donnie, biting into the same goblin Gundar, scorched with his guiding bolt. He reels as your strike cuts deep across his side, psionic light sputtering in his eyes as he staggers, nearly falling across the bench. Your second strike cleaves straight through. The goblin barely had enough left to raise his guard, and your blade cuts right past it. You pull your weapon free, the goblin slumps backwards, collapsing in a heap on the floor. I need you, Gundar and Sildar, to all make an intelligence save as the goblin's pent-up mental energy explodes in a psychic blast.
I only got a 3.
I got a 7.
Same here.
Your kill stroke cuts the goblin down, but its psionic power doesn't die with it. The brawler's body spasms once, and then its skull cracks open in a pulse of invisible force. The air ripples, a pressure wave slamming outward through the mess hall like glass shattering. All 3 of you take 7 psychic damage from the blast. The echo of the goblins dying will still ringing in your skulls like a bell that refuses to stop. I'll also need concentration checks from Sildar for Bless, and Gundar for Spirit Guardians.
Bless drops.
I still have Spirit Guardians, thankfully.
Well, now that he's done exploding, I'll turn my attention to the other brawler near me and pass for now, Ben.
Well, that brawler is going to attack you, Donnie. Make a strength save. You can also roll your damage for Spirit Guardians.
25 total, Ben.
That's good rolls. 16 Radiant, and half on a DC 16 Wisdom save.
A telekinetic shove slams into your chest, but you hold your ground. At the same time, Gundar's spectral dwarves surge forward. Their blazing warhammers come crashing down, and though the goblin manages to twist with the psionic shimmer protecting it, the strikes still burn across its form. It takes 8 radiant damage from the guardians. Snarling in frustration, and with fists crackling with psionic energy, he swings twice at you, both strikes thrown wild and reckless, as he is still frightened. Wow, those are some crazy rolls. 2 natural 19s to hit, and then another natural 19 and an 18 total.
Damn, that little shit actually hits me both times?
You take 11 bludgeoning and 5 psychic damage. Donnie, as the goblin's fists finally find their mark, one cracks into your ribs with the weight of a hammer, the psionic pulse riding the strike straight into your chest. The second blow slams across your jaw, the psychic energy flaring bright as your vision rattles. The goblin hisses through clenched teeth. We fights for Ruxathid. We die for Ruxathid. For Oaf's turn, he is going to continue to attempt to hold on to the commander. This time, however, the commander snarls, muscles straining against Oaf's invisible grip. For a few moments, her body trembles midair, psionic light sparking around her head as Oaf's brow furrows, face scrunched like he's about to burst. Then snap! The commander wrenches free, and although none of you can see her through the void, you can hear her come crashing down to the stone floor with a heavy thud. Oaf looks to you, Jorkus, a look of defeat on his face. No, Oaf! Oaf had her. Oaf strong wizard. Oaf try again, yes?
Don't you worry, Oaf. You'll get him next time.
You two are so strange. I'm going to cast another guiding bolt, Ben. This time at 2nd level, and at the commander that ran out of Barbin's spell. Damn it, that's only an 11.
Your bolt sears across the chamber, but the commander, fresh from the writhing void, is quicker than you expect. She twists, the radiant light slamming into the stone wall behind her and bursting in a shower of sparks that fade against the eerie blue glow of the lava carvings. The commander's psionic gaze locks back onto you, teeth bared in a sneer as she exclaims, "Your magics is nothing to Ruxathid's power."
Can you handle the goblin here by Donnie, Sildar? Or do you want to help me with the commander?
Up to Donnie, I would say.
You two can deal with her. I'll finish this one off on my turn.
All right, sounds good. I'll move to the commander so that they're in the range of my spirit guardians and end my turn.
I'll run over to help him out. I'll swing twice with my sunblade. That's a 15 and an 18 to hit.
Your sunblade arcs through the air. Sildar, radiant fire trailing like a comet. The first swing cuts wide. The commander sidesteps with inhuman quickness, the blade biting only into blue-lit stone. Your second strike, though, is true. The golden edge sings as it descends. The commander's psionic blow caught dead in its path. But just as the blade is about to strike home, she thrusts out a clawed hand. A shimmer of force snaps into place, a rippling psionic barrier bursting outward. Your sunblade screeches against the invisible wall, sparks and embers scattering, but the commander holds firm. The shield vanishes as quickly as it came, leaving her sneering untouched. Ruxathid's will is shield enough. Your false light cannot pierce it.
Damn it, these weird goblins are full of surprises. First Oaf knows telekinesis, and now these ones can make magical shields. I suppose I'll pass.
Next up is the brawlers that are in Barbin's spell. They each take 9 cold damage when they begin their turn, and one of them is frightened, so he will attempt to save since he is far enough away from you. All right, he passes. 2 of the goblins are going to have to dash to get out of the area. They cough and stumble their way out of Barbin's hunger of Hadar, frost clinging to their limbs, and that alien black ichor dripping down their armor. The third one, however, doesn't waste time retreating. He snarls, green psionic sparks crackling along his arms. The nearby stone benches tremble. 2 chunks of rock rip free from the ground, swirling around him like weapons. With a guttural hiss, he flings them both towards you, Sildar. The first stone slams wide, crashing harmlessly against the wall with a shower of grit. The second, though, strikes true. It smashes into your side with a heavy thud, knocking the breath from your lungs as you take 7 damage. After them is one of the normal goblins. As the crash of stone fades, one of the nearby regular goblins, caught too close to Barbin's hunger of Hadar, has no chance to escape like the others. The void pulls at him, dragging his shrieks into the cold silence. When the shadows recoil for a moment, nothing remains but rime and gore scattered across the stone floor. You're up, Barbin. Give me another wisdom save.
Can I somehow help, Ben?
Sure, Jorkus. Tell me how you want to help him out.
I'll shake Barbin a little bit, trying to get his attention as I speak to him. Barbin, listen to me. You're doing good. You hear me? You're keeping them back, saving us. This isn't some kind of mistake. It's your power. Don't let this stop you. You're stronger than that.
Well said, Jorkus.
You'll have advantage, Barbin.
That's a natural 18-21 total.
You snap out of it, Barbin, the claws of that writhing void peeling back from your mind. Jorkus' hand on your shoulder, his voice steady and grounding, cuts sharper than the screams. The wall behind you no longer feels like the only thing keeping you upright. You're still pressed against it, but now by choice, as your allies don't see the fear now, they see the strain. Yes, but they also see you standing, still fighting.
Thank you, Jorkus. You're right. I don't know what got into me, but thank you. I'll push myself off the wall, my fingers sparking with crackling energy as I thrust them both forward and fire 2 eldritch blasts at the commander. That's 2 19s to hit and 17 damage.
Both blasts streak across the chamber, twin lances of raw eldritch force that slam directly into the commander's chest. She staggers back, psionic glow in her eyes flaring and sputtering. The force nearly drives her to her knees, her armor scorched and smoking from the impact. She's still up though, and she's next, unless you want to do something else.
Nah, that's all for me. Thank you again, Jorkus.
Next are the commanders. The wounded commander, reeling from Barbin's blasts, throws her arms wide. Her psionic aura surges violently, threads of blue-green energy snapping like whips in the air. With a ragged scream, she channels it all into a single psychic detonation. A sphere of raw, mind-shredding energy bursts out, centered in the middle of your group. It washes over every single one of you.
Am I able to counterspell, Ben?
This isn't a spell, just an ability.
Damn. All right.
I need a DC 15 intelligence save from all of you.
I got an 18.
Me too.
Same here.
I got a 12.
14.
The whole mess hall shakes with a wave of invisible force, like your very minds are being torn inside out. The remaining goblins cackle, scream, or cheer in unison as their commander pours her psionic fury into you. Sildar, Barbin, and Jorkus, you all grit your teeth and push through it, sweat dripping as the shrieking voices rattle your skulls. You each take 7 psychic damage, but you remain in the fight. No incapacitation. Oaf also passes. Donnie and Gundar, your vision goes white as the wave crushes into you. It feels like your very thoughts are split open, a familiar feeling to the one back at town when you attack the other commander. You both are knocked to your knees as the world is nothing but ringing noise. You both take 14 psychic damage and are incapacitated for the next turn. She shouts, "Kneel, witness the power Ruxithids gives us." You lose concentration on your spell, Gundar, and you'll need to roll as well, Barbin.
I got a tainted 20. I'm good.
Since you passed, the other commander will move down after taking some more damage. How much?
11 cold damage.
The second commander claws her way free of the writhing void, frost still clinging to her armor and black ichor streaking her face. She stumbles forward, eyes locking on you, Barbin. Her voice hisses across the chamber, carried more in your mind than your ears. Hear the whispers of Ruxithid. Let them unravel you. A wave of psychic song digs into your skull. You'll need to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 15.
That's a 17.
You steel yourself against the mental assault. Barbin, your talisman thrumming in your palm as you force the whispering voice out of your skull. You still take 9 psychic damage, but you stand your ground. The commander's expression twists in frustration, her psionic glow flickering erratically as her spell fails to break you. You're up, Jorkus.
I'll raise my hands to my circlet, my fingers brushing over the gem. I channel the heat into my fingertips, pulling on the circlet's power and fire 3 rays of fire at the goblin next to Donald. That's a 17, a 21, and a 25 to hit.
Jorkus, your hands blaze as the circlet's gem flares, sending 3 lances of fire streaking across the mess hall. 2 of them tear forward unimpeded, but as the final ray sears forward, the commander conjures a shield similar to the one the other goblin used.
That's 14 damage then.
The fire ray smashes against it, scattering sparks harmlessly across the stone. The other 2 rays, however, break through. They slam directly into the brawler's chest, flames licking across his body as he staggers back, barely still standing. Anything else for you?
Crap, it's still up. I'm gonna run to it to try to distract it from hitting Donnie while he's out of the fight.
All right, well, he's up right after Donnie. The regular goblin is going to run away on his turn, booking it to the kitchen to go hide. You have some movement speed, Donnie, but you won't be able to take actions or reactions.
Damn it. I'm going to just try to move away from this bastard. Hopefully he'll miss me as I move away from him.
That's a 19 to hit on you, Donnie. That's 7 bludgeoning and 5 psychic damage.
Damn it. I'm down. Fuck.
The brawler sees you stagger, Donnie, and lashes out with brutal precision. The psionic glow in his eyes flares as his fist cracks across your temple, the psychic backlash slamming straight through your mind. You crumple to the stone floor, blood mixing with the scorched ash and molten porridge around you. Your sword slips from your hand with a sharp clang, the sound echoing over the chaos of the fight. The goblin snarls triumphantly, standing over your unconscious body as if he's just toppled a giant. He then goes to take 2 attacks against you. Jorkus. That's a 16 and a 19 to hit.
Both of those are going to hit me, so I'll cast shield on myself, Ben.
The goblin lunges for you, Jorkus, fists wreathed in psionic light, trying to smash you down before you can throw out another spell. The first swing whistles toward your head, the second aims low for your gut. But as they come in, you throw your hand up, and a shimmering wall of force bursts into being around you, like a ripple of molten glass. The goblin's fists slam into the shield instead, sparks of psionic and arcane energy exploding outward with each impact. He's going to stay right next to you, Jorkus, ready to strike again. Next up is Oath. He's still concentrating on telekinesis, so he is going to try to lift the goblin away from you and Donnie. That's a success. Oath, seeing Donnie overwhelmed, and you on the defensive as well, plants his feet as both of his little hands shoot out in front of him. Not touch heroes, Oath, say no! The air bends with a sudden snap, and the goblin brawler is ripped backward, shrieking as his limbs flail. His psionic glow sputters against Oath's telekinetic force, but it's no use. The goblin is yanked clean off the floor and dragged across the chamber. With a final squeal, the brawler is hurled into the writhing black maw of Barban's magic, the shadows swallowing him again with a wet rip. Oath pants, sweat dripping down his bald head, but he stands taller than he ever has before, chest puffed and eyes wide with pride.
Well done, Oath.
Never thought he'd be saving our ass at some point.
You're up, Gundar, but all you can do is move following the psychic attack from the commander.
I don't want to move away from her. I'll stay here and hopefully the others can make a decent dent. Go ahead, Sildar.
I'm attacking the commander right in front of us. Hopefully I can do some good damage. That's a 22 to hit.
No shield from the commander this time. Roll your damage.
I'm also using a 2nd level Divine Smite on this attack with my bonus action. That's 12 radiant from the Sunblade and 16 more from the Smite.
Nice, Sildar. How do you take down this commander?
I rush her before she can gather her strength again. I grip the hilt of my Sunblade tight, and I can feel both the fire and the shadow answering my call. With one clean thrust, I drive the blade straight through her chest. The light explodes out of her, searing through her armor and flesh. I lean in close as she screams, and I twist the blade, letting her feel every ounce of her power unravel before me.
As the commander dies, she explodes just like one of the other goblins. I'll need another intelligence save from you and Gundar.
11.
I got an 8.
You both steel yourselves against the mental onslaught as the commander's pops, but it isn't enough. You both take 7 psychic damage.
Still standing, not done fighting yet.
Nice job, Sildar. One more commander to go.
I still have one more attack I can make, so I'll run to the other brawlers over here and attack whichever one looks the most hurt. That's an 18 to hit and 12 radiant damage again.
Your Sunblade cuts through the dim mess hall like a streak of judgment. The brawler barely has time to flinch before your blade bites deep, radiant fire flaring out of the wound and scorching across its chest. It's still standing, but just barely. One more solid hit from anyone will put it down. Anything else?
That's all for me.
Great turn, Sildar.
Appreciate it.
These brawlers are up next. The 2 by you are both going to attempt to knock you to the floor. I'll need 2 strength saves.
Damn, both of those aren't good.
Both goblins snarl in unison as their psionic energy flares, the stone beneath their feet cracking slightly with the force of it. You feel a pull tear at your balance, one tugging your shoulders back, the other dragging at your knees. The strain is brutal, your muscles screaming as the invisible hands try to throw you flat against the stone floor. They both then take 2 attacks at you, each with advantage. That's 2 hits total. You take 14 damage total as a mix of brute force and psychic damage is unleashed upon you.
Holy shit, I'm at 1, guys.
I'll do my best to help, Sildar. Hang in there.
As you say this, Barban, 2 stones are propelled at you from across the hall. The final brawler, still injured from your magic attempts to break your spell. Both attacks hit, dealing 12 damage as the heavy stones scattered across the floor are launched at you, dealing hefty damage. I need 2 concentration checks.
Pass both.
All right, you're up.
I'm going to fire 2 Eldritch Blasts at the other commander. Hopefully I can finish her off before her turn. That's a nat fucking 20 and a 21 to hit.
Nice, Barbin.
That's 26 force damage total.
Another commander down, Barbin. How do you take her out?
I grit my teeth and push the terror back down where it belongs. My hands ignite with crackling force and I lock eyes with her. I thrust both palms forward. The first bolt tears out of me, violet fire screaming across the room and slamming into her chest. Before she can recover, I draw deeper, feel the talisman burn against my skin, and I unleash everything. The second blast rips free, stronger, sharper, and it hits her square.
Great job, Barbin. Only a few more goblins to take care of.
Go ahead, Jorkus.
I'm going to twin cast a Chaos Bolt, Ben, aiming for the injured brawlers. I'm also using Tides of Chaos for advantage on both.
Go ahead and roll to hit. I'll roll wild magic for you.
That's a 21 to hit the really hurt one, and a 25 to hit the one next to him. That's 11 cold damage to the first goblin, and 11 fire to the second one. It also bounces.
The first goblin dies, so roll to hit the third.
Another 21 to hit, and 10 poison damage.
The crack of your chaos bolts lights the chamber up. Jorkus arcs of cold, fire, and poison weaving across the mess hall in chaotic bursts. The first brawler, already clinging to life, stiffens as frost streaks his body and collapses in a brittle heap. The second staggers under the firebolt, flames crawling up his arm as he howls, barely able to stay standing. The third takes the brunt of your ricochet, veins turning sickly green as poison courses through him. He's still alive, but faltering. And then, with an almost comical pop of wild energy, a cloud of feathers bursts at your feet. 2 chickens, startled out of nowhere, flap and squawk madly. They scuttle across the mess hall at breakneck speed, slipping on porridge and darting under tables, vanishing into the chaos of combat. Oath gasps, starry-eyed. You make food come alive! So powerful, sir!
Oh, where'd those guys come from?
What kind of spell is that?
Create food and water? Maybe?
Anything else, Jorkus?
I'm gonna stay here to make sure Donnie is safe.
All right, go ahead and roll a death save, Donnie.
12. 1 success.
Nice. Go ahead and roll damage for your spell as well, Barbin.
9 cold damage.
This brawler is also very injured now. He's going to try to break free of Oath's spell, but if he fails, he'll almost certainly die on your next turn. And he fails. Go ahead and roll acid damage now, too.
7 more damage, Ben.
You can hear him struggling to break free from Oath's grasp, but it's futile. The magic is too strong, and here in your magic, he is being torn to shreds. Oath spends his turn maintaining the hold on this goblin. You're up, Gundar.
Another guiding bolt. Right at the goblin next to Sildar. Does a 15 hit?
Yup.
7 damage. Terrible rolls.
It's still enough. The blast tears right through him, cracking across his ribcage as the goblin's psionic glow sputters out entirely, and he slumps lifeless to the floor. Unfortunately, I need another intelligence save from Sildar as this goblin pops.
I think I'm cooked either way. That's a 6.
Another of your allies falls. The goblin's corpse hits the floor, and just like the others before, its skull ruptures with one final psionic backlash. Sildar, you're too battered to brace against it. The wave tears through your mind, shredding your focus. Your vision swims, your knees buckle, and then you collapse to the floor, sunblade dimming as it clatters from your hand.
Damn it. I forgot they do that. Sorry, Bill.
Don't worry about it, really. Just finish this fight.
I'm going to cover the distance between Sildar and the goblin, Ben. That's all. Go ahead, Barbin.
Before that, I need your death save, Sildar.
15.
I'm going to fire 2 Eldritch Blasts to try to finish this fight off. 11 and a 14, damn it. I'll use my talisman to add a d4 to the 14. Okay, that's a 16 now. And 12 damage.
Your first bolt sails wide, Barbin, slamming into the stone wall and exploding in a spray of sparks. The second, though, you steady your hand, your talisman pulses hot against your chest, lending just enough focus. The crimson blast slams into the wounded brawler's torso. The goblin jerks violently, psionic glow flickering like a candle in the wind. Oath drops the final goblin onto the floor, and his body hits the ground, twitching once before going still, the glow finally guttering out. The mess hall itself is in ruins. Blackened scorch marks from Jorkus's fireball scorch the right side of the room. The left side still writhes faintly with the remnants of ichor and frost. Tables are shattered, bowls melted, goblin corpses littered across the stone. And 2 of your party members lie on the stone floor, bleeding out and clinging desperately to the line between life and death. I need one more check from both of you.
A 4.
A 9.
The chamber is eerily silent now, save for the faint bubbling of lava in the carvings, the ragged breathing of those of you still standing, and the few goblins behind the kitchen counter watching on in fear.